God, fauna is real! Where's that? Yeah! What we're known for. Big deal. Man, I love fauna. Don't you? It is on fauna over. It's you with the... Fauna is sweet. Fauna is You're now listening to Fauna FM. This ain't your granny's radio station. Fauna. Sorry to give you a huge change in atmosphere. From the loading screen to now. Friday night. Is it Friday? I don't even know what day it is. It's Friday. Confana. I am not using the KU100 because it stresses me out. And this is not ASMR because if we call it ASMR, it will stress me out. So we are just reading Wikipedia softly. Without any stress. ASMR at home. I didn't know what to do today. Because I made my stream last minute. I was like, am I gonna stream today? I don't know. I was like, I should stream today. Because I don't know if I'll be able to stream tomorrow. So I will stream today. But I don't know what to do. I'm all discombobulated. 29 months, thank you. Is Rusty Lake shelled? No, I'll get back to it. I felt like we were doing too much of it. Maybe we need some members variety. But I don't know. Have I ever been combobulated? Actually, yes. There was a time, I don't know if I've talked about it before. Right after I graduated college, I had a job. Like a regular old 9 to 5, except for me, it was actually an 8 to 4 because I liked to go in an hour early, get that extra hour of sunlight after work. But I was so like on top of things back then. I don't know what happened to me in the years since, because I was cooking for myself every day. My apartment was clean all the time. Every day I would like bring my leftovers to work for lunch that I had made before. I like packed my lunch every day. Happened to you as well? I was so combobulated. I was so put together. When I look back, I'm like, how? I was a responsible adult. I had to mail my rent to my landlord in a check every month because he was not with the times and I could not pay online. So I had to mail him a check every single month, no auto pay, but I did it and I was on time every month. I don't know. This sounds awful. I was living back then. And not only that, I was like learning. Back then, I was learning to do ASMR in my free time. That's what I was spending my free time on. And drawing too. Because my job was not the most fulfilling. It was a good job, but it wasn't that fulfilling for me personally. So I was like doing my hobbies after work. And like somehow I was working like 40 hours a week and I was like doing my hobbies. I don't know. Being productive is hard. Somehow this was like my peak setup for productivity. I know, this is the lore. The lore that... I don't know. Maybe I'm not supposed to talk about, but whatever. It's a member stream. I've been here for 3 years. It's whatever. Deep lore. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if it ruins your immersion. You can keep a secret. Okay, promise not to tell. I'll tell you my deep lore. Yeah, that was, I don't know, I was definitely combobulated back then. It's a promise. I don't know what happened. Sometimes I think about that version of me. I'm like, how? How? I think my secret was, well, I would go to the grocery store every day, almost every day, after work, and I would walk to work. I would walk to work. I would work. I would come home from work. I would walk home. I would walk to the store, which was very close to where I lived, like every day, and I would buy what I wanted to cook. So I got to whatever I felt like cooking that day, I would just go pick up, and then I would cook. And my secret was, I would not sit down when I got home. Because as soon as I sat down on the couch, all chances of me cooking that night went out the door. So I would just go straight into cooking, and then I would cook, and then afterwards I would do the dishes. I didn't have a dishwasher. I would do the dishes. I didn't have a microwave either. I don't know. I would heat up my leftovers on the stove. Want to be productive, just never sit down. It worked for me. Like, as soon as I sat down, that was it. How did I live? I was so productive. I don't know. My rent must have been cheap. It was. It was cheap. It was. I don't know, it's a nostalgic time. It sounds sad with the music. I don't know. I'm like a nostalgic person, so I always look at things with rose-colored glasses, but... Was it a good time in my life? It was, but also I was like sad because I was done with college. And honestly, I'm like still sad that I'm done with college because I think college... I don't know, I don't want to be like, oh, I peaked in college, but I really liked college. Just like the social structure was really good for me. And I was really on top of my work, and I didn't even mind like going to the library to study for 12 hours. Yeah, it's not just about the classes, although I really did like my classes. I really liked learning. Well, I still like learning. But it's like the social setup where you live really close to all your friends and you can like walk everywhere. That's what I miss. Yeah, the whole vibe. I would like see my friends every day in person. Yeah. But my first year of college was really hard. It was a very hard time for me because I did not know how to make friends. And I am someone who gets lonely really easily. Now you're getting sad. Don't get sad. Should I play less sad piano music? Yeah, I was like such a shut-in. D&D did save me. I think I talked about that before. I did not have any friends, and I did not know how to make friends, and I did not make any effort to make friends, which that is the problem. Is that I was not making any effort to make friends. I just thought like, oh, it'll just happen. I'll just find myself with friends. Cause I don't know, in like high school, I guess I had friends. I guess it just happened. I just happened to have friends. I didn't have to make much of an effort. But in college, like I didn't know anybody. So I was very lonely. I was just sitting in my dorm room, not talking to anybody, waiting for some friends to come adopt me. But at some point I realized like that's not gonna happen. I did have a roommate, and she was also very lonely, I think. I think we were like enabling each other. We were both sitting alone in our dorms, but we didn't have much in common. So like we weren't hanging out really. We were just sitting on our computers. And I think we like enabled each other because we would look at each other and be like, oh, this is like normal. But we both should have been doing stuff to make friends. After that, she joined a sorority. And I remember talking about it with her because she was like, oh, it feels like buying friends to join a sorority, so I'm kind of on the fence about it. Like, I don't know, that just feels wrong to me. And I was like, oh yeah, I feel you. I don't think a sorority is really my thing. But that's what it is. I will say there's nothing wrong with that. If you gotta like pay to be in a club to make friends, that's fine. I don't think she should have felt bad for that. But at the time I was like, oh yeah, I feel you. But really it's just because like a sorority isn't really my style of thing. But I was like, I don't know. Yeah, if it works, it works. So then she did join a sorority and she did have friends, but I still didn't have friends. And I was very lonely. So that's when I was like, I did sort of have like a moment. I was like, I can't keep living like this. I think a lot of people have their moment in college because, you know, it's your first time being away from your family, from your old circle. So I was like, I can't keep going on like this. Something needs to change. My friends are not going to materialize out of thin air. It took you half your first year. Yeah, me too. But then I was determined, and it was hard because I'm very introverted and shy, and I'm terrified of rejection, as many people are. So I was like, oh no, like what if I ask people and they hate me? But I just like sucked it up. And I think you just have to suck it up, and it's gonna be hard, but it's so worth it. And yeah, I invited people to play D&D, and that's how I got my friends. But I had to be very proactive because I was like, I'm not going back to lonely in my dorm room. So I was like inviting them out non-stop, like every day. Like, oh, do you guys want to go get dinner? We should get dinner together. Like non-stop. I was probably very overbearing, but it worked. Yeah, you have to put in the effort. You would be so exhausted. I was too, but I mean, everybody's different. For me, I do get lonely very easily, so I had to do it for myself. Did I adopt some fellow introverts? I did, actually. I did. And the girl that I became roommates with, the one whose perfume I wanted to steal, I adopted her too. Actually, not really, because it turns out she's actually an extrovert, like a huge extrovert. But for some reason, I thought that she was like more shy than me. I thought that she was like more of an introvert than me, like my first impression with her. And I was like, I like saw myself in her. I was like, I need to make sure that she has a group, so I'm gonna invite her in. But then it turned out, yeah, I guess she might have just been a shy extrovert. It turned out like, I think she was really just like shy with me. Because it turned out with everyone else she had no problem like talking to. And then she was the one like dragging me to social events after that. Too intimidating? I probably did come off intimidating because I was in my like I will make friends era. So I was probably very like very very intense. When you adopt your adopter, I know. Yeah, overbearing maybe. You will be my friend. I was determined. I was not gonna like let her get away. What extracurriculars did I do? Okay, this one is embarrassing. I don't remember if I told you guys this before. This was when I was like, I need friends, but I don't know how to make friends. I was like, maybe I should become a cheerleader. They get to wear cute uniforms. I had never done like anything like that before though. And I went to the tryouts and it was hard. Like understandably, like it takes actual skill to be a cheerleader. And I did not make the tryouts. Yeah. Of course it does. I know. I don't know what I thought. I was like, I can join, right? Yeah, you have to be athletic and coordinated. Good on you for trying. I am proud of myself for trying. Going to the tryouts, because I was very socially anxious. That did not stick. I was in the gaming club. And I stayed in the gaming club the whole time through. And that was fine. But that, like, we only met, like, once a week. So for me, that was not enough social interaction. Like, sitting in my dorm room and then once a week going to the game club, that was not enough for me. I was like, I need more friends than this. So then I did my D&D group. Make game club too. I was on the like planning committee too for the game club, which was fun. I liked doing that. And then the people who came after me, they did not run it right. I had like the boomer experience. I was like, you youngins are not running the club right. The club is going to die because of you. You do not know how to do it right. I didn't say it like that though. But actually, like at one point, this was when I was like a senior about to graduate. I was like, I think I told them, somebody needs to put like flyers up. You need to put posters up advertising the club because otherwise no one is gonna know that the club exists. Because that's how it works on this college campus. Also, you need to make social media posts. Like nobody was doing either of those things. Which seems like the bare minimum to me anyway. I don't know, back in my day, we were putting up posters and making social media posts, but... And then one of the like freshmen, I was like, you guys need to be doing this. And then one of the freshmen said to me, well, why don't you do it then? And I was so like flabbergasted. I was like, I'm graduating. I'm leaving. I'm not gonna be around to put up posters. You youngins need to do it. Somebody needs to carry the torch. Well, why don't you do it? Because if I do it, then nobody's gonna do it when I'm gone. Kids these days, right? I was so mad. I don't think I said anything I think I was just like, whatever. At that point, I was just like, whatever happens to the club, it's out of my hands now. I tried. I tried. So I don't know what happens to it. They just wanted to play Smash Bros in peace. Well, they shouldn't have joined the planning committee. If they didn't wanna plan, they shouldn't have joined the planning committee. I don't know. I mean, I guess I get it a little bit. It is really annoying, like, when people are telling you to do something, but they themselves don't do it. But, like, I had been doing it for 4 years. You know? Like, at some point, the newbies have to pick it up. I thought this was the playing committee. Just keep doing it for them? I know. I tried. See, I was like, by this point, I was actually like, because this is like your last semester, I was mostly checked out. I was only there in like an advisory sense. Because I had some experience, at least I like to think. But, yeah, they wanted me to put out the flyers. IRyS. You're late? What did you miss? I have not been reading Wikipedia. I've been ranting about my college days, the deep lore. I did not put up the flyers. Okay, well, also because like I wasn't even living in the dorms anymore. At this point, I was not living in the freshman dorms where you typically put up the flyers because that's who needs to know about the new clubs. But you know who was living in the freshman dorms where they would be very proximate to putting up flyers? These people, these freshmen. I don't know, it made me sad too because like flyering was like a social event, and in my lonely freshman days, it was like what I looked forward to because everybody got together and like you all go around to all the different dorms and you put up the flyers, and it's like you do it late at night and it's kind of fun and you feel like you're like sneaking around, like sneaking into all the dorms, and you get to see the ones that you don't live in, and it's kind of fun and it's like a bonding experience. You get to hang out for like a couple hours with the other people in the planning committee, and the newbies didn't want to do it. Sounds fun. I had fun when I did it. Yeah, then you hit up the late night Denny's. Exactly. They didn't want to do it, these dang kids. Times have changed, Grandma. I know. It was peak. The 1 a.m. Taco Bell. Grandma Kieran. I was mad that they sassed me. I didn't think I was being unreasonable. I don't think I even said it in a rude way. I think I was just like, hey, there's an event happening like in a couple days and nobody has made a social media post about it. Can somebody make the post? They were like, you do it then. If you care so much, why don't you do it? It's like, ugh. Because I can do it now, but who's gonna do it in 2 months from now when I'm gone? I know. I've been doing it for 4 years. Somebody else do it. This is what hazing is for. They actually did try to do hazing, except then it got banned on my campus, which is like understandable. The hazing that they tried to do, they didn't do it to me, thankfully. For the gaming club, yes, they put a pillowcase over your head and then take you into a car and bring you to another location, which is actually just a party. But like the pillowcase in the car part is the suspect part. Yeah, it is just kidnapping. It is. It is. Not the secondary location. I know, that's what they tell you. Never let them bring you to a second location. This is like how to not get kidnapped 101 right here. My roommate, the one I've been talking about, she was more outspoken than me. And she's the one who actually like yelled at them. Was like, you can't do this. This isn't okay. You can't just put pillowcases on people's heads and bring them to a second location. She was right, she was. This isn't a game. She did the hazing. No, she did not. She did not. I think that was the last time, because then it got banned campus-wide. I know, they did think it was tame compared to other hazing, but I don't know. They're like, well, it's not a problem. We're just taking them to a party. Nothing actually bad happened to them. Yeah, hazing can get pretty bad, I think. But don't compare it to frat hazing. Yeah, it's still... I can imagine not everybody would be up for that. And the thing is, like, they had the sense. They had the sense to be like, we shouldn't do this to the girl members. We should only do this to the guys. Like they had that much sense. But you probably shouldn't do it to either. Guys not spared. Halfway there, exactly. Probably should just think of a different... I'm sure there's a fun way where you can get people into the club that doesn't involve, you know, putting pillowcases over their heads and putting them in a car. Yeah, like playing games. Maybe playing games. Novel experience. Anyway, that's the deep lore, the deep college lore. Well, I was supposed to read Wikipedia. I have a Wikipedia page open. It is the category Unexplained Phenomena. Deep lore unlocked. Can we make this a lore stream? We can, but I don't know what other lore I have for you. What other lore is there? It is, it's the fauna Wikipedia page. My old D&D characters? I ran with one, like, most of the time. My cleric, my Eladrin cleric of Bahamut. And she was basically a knockoff of Starfire. Like, she's like an alien from the Feywild. She doesn't understand the mortal plane. I also had a knockoff. All my D&D characters tend to be knockoffs. I don't think that's uncommon, but I could use a little more creativity. I was really... Okay, let's say I was inspired by... This character is kind of a spoiler for Mirai Nikki. Wait, is that what it's called? Future Diary? Yes. The character that shows up at the end. Not the one that shows up right at the very end, only at the very end. The gremlin creature. That one. I was really inspired by that one, and I made a whirling slayer barbarian. And she was like, I don't remember what her race was. She was like small, like tiny. And she would go around in a rage and like attack everyone on the battlefield. She might have been like a pixie. Race is small. Which version of D&D? This was in 4E. But that one was really fun. Yeah, Pixie Barbarian, that was the idea. She's like tiny, but extremely ruthless. You 4E, my beloved. I know a lot of people hate 4E, but I liked it. I liked how even the melee combat classes had magic spells. Actual manic pixie. Actually, yes. What other characters did I have? I had a Death Domain cleric who was like a necromancer, like the town necromancer. And I wanted to play, she's like a middle-aged woman, human. Cause I feel like, at least in my groups, it's like all like elves. Like, nobody wants to play a human. Maybe you have a dwarf, but there's like no humans in the group. So I was like, I want to play an elf, or not an elf, I want to play a human for once. And then the other thing is, like, in my groups, it's always everybody is like 18 years old. They're like really young. They're like 18 or 20, maybe 25, maybe. Rarely getting to 30, you know, or whatever the equivalent is. 18-year-old elves, no, I mean, they would be like a 300-year-old elf, but essentially they're an 18-year-old, you know, they like just left the nest or whatever. This is their first adventure. They just spawned into the adult world. So I was like, well, I kind of don't want to play, because I also do that. I also am like, oh, she's basically 20. But I wanted to try playing like a middle-aged human. So I played like a 55-year-old human necromancer. And she was like the town's necromancer for all this time. And then the like secret twist is that she actually had a daughter. But I don't think she was the best mom. She was kind of too into her necromancy job. And then I was gonna have the DM like bring the daughter in at some point, and the other party members would be like, who is this? And she'd be like, oh, that's my daughter. That's my like 23-year-old daughter. And then they would be like, what? No evil twin? You had that revelation at your table last week. I think it's a good one. Yeah, daughter who hates necromancy. Exactly. Yeah, I'd have to be like, yeah, guys, I'm 50. What did you expect? Exactly. It's like, I'm old enough where I could have an adult child. Maybe you would know if I had like a young kid, but no, she's been a grown up for a while now. Stop raising my pets from the dead, Mom. But we never got that far in this campaign, as D&D campaigns tend to happen. Necromancer Bob with Paladin Daughter, the sitcom writes itself, is pretty good. She was like a goth woman. I liked her. I would play her again if I had the chance. Jennifer coded, kind of. Actually, kind of. Literal goth mommy, exactly. You like the sound of her? Me too, but I always end up playing clerics. I was gonna have another character that I haven't played with, but she was gonna be an old lady, also a human, but like a 70-year-old lady. And she was going to be a barbarian, and in her youth she was like a pacifist, and she actually like went to... Was she a pacifist? I don't know actually. She was like an activist. So she would go to like protests and stuff, like against violence, like anti-violence protests and stuff. And at some point, she like desecrated a shrine to, I don't know the D&D pantheon, some like war god, like the god of war or whatever. The god of violence, whoever. She like peed on his shrine or something, you know, in her like hippie days. And then the god hated that and decided to like curse her. And so now she turns into a barbarian and becomes very violent, but only when she's raging. And she has no memory of her raging when she goes back to normal. So she, yeah, like a were barbarian, exactly. So she's like an old lady who is a pacifist. So she would never fight at all, never commit violence until she rages, at which point she goes completely out of control and murders as much as possible. And then she goes back to normal and she has no memory of what just happened. So she's been like living her life like without realizing it, like thinking that she's still a pacifist. And pulls out a gun. Yeah, that's the other character that I haven't been able to play, but I want to. Indiscriminate murder or murder against opposition? Well, probably just murder against opposition, because otherwise the other party members will get mad at me, but you know. Has no idea why she carries a giant axe. Actually, I was gonna have it be a frying pan. Her weapon of choice was gonna be a frying pan. That's why she like... she could have like a reasonable suspicion that she doesn't Hulk out and kill people. And then she'll go back to normal and be like, would anyone like pancakes? I've got pancakes coming right up. Oh my. Oh yeah, and there's some barbarian that like goes all out and then they like suffer exhaustion, I think. Right? I forget which one it is. They have like exhaustion levels. So she was gonna be like after her it was a berserker after her rage. She's just gonna be like, "Oh, my back! Everything hurts!" And it would make a lot of sense for the lore. She'd be all, yeah, conked out. That's awesome, thank you. I hope I get to play as her at some point. Make your pancakes with disadvantage. Feel free to use this concept if you would like in your own games. I would be happy if other people play as my granny barbarian. Yeah, but I hope I will get to play as her at some point. You call her Fauna? Sure. Grannies are underrepresented in D&D. That's what I think. Did I do a grandma voice the whole time? I never got to play her. Well, maybe I will at some point, hopefully. But I was planning on doing granny voice the whole time. I did like her backstory. Of her being like a hippie. And like at one of her demonstrations, she like desecrates a shrine to one of the evil war gods. Who then curses her. She's been living her life unaware ever since then. Yeah, she peed on it. You're a were-barbarian now. I don't know, it probably would have had to be at one of her like last demonstrations before she retired. It's just the Hulk. Her last hurrah. Before she went to live a quiet life in the countryside, or so she thought. And yet somehow her small town has like a series of violent crime, and it's actually her this whole time. Adventure calls. Yeah, I don't know how she would get involved with the adventure party. I mean, I guess you could convince her to go back to her old ways, you know, if it's for a good cause. Yeah, nobody would suspect the old granny. She's a pacifist. She's got her alibi right there. Yeah, she could join as the party cook. She's like, okay, I'll join, but I won't commit any violence. I'm just here to make pancakes, okay? You'll always suss out the old granny. People did suspect my granny immediately in the Justice Dungeon. Instantly, she was suspicious. Which? Never trust old people. No. What am I doing? I'm drinking tea. That's what I'm doing. My lukewarm tea. I feel like I should read a little bit of Wikipedia. Well, it's because I have these pages open and they're like calling to me. Also, I don't know what other deep lore I have for you. I'm all out. We're fresh out of deep lore. The unexplained phenomena Any weird pages? There are some weird pages. Well, I don't know if I want to read this one because it might be too sad. But there's the birthday effect. The birthday effect is a statistical phenomenon where an individual's likelihood of death appears to increase on or close to their birthday. The birthday effect has been seen in studies of general populations in England and Wales, Switzerland, Ukraine, and the United States, as well as in smaller populations such as Major League Baseball players. Suggested mechanisms for the effect include alcohol consumption, psychological stress relating to the birthday, increased suicide risk, terminally ill patients attempting to hold on until their birthday, and increased mortality salience, or a physiological cycle that causes the body to weaken annually. It has also been suggested that it may be a statistical artifact, perhaps as a result of anomalies in reporting, but the birthday effect has also been seen in studies that control for known reporting anomalies. See, it's so sad. What was this Major League Baseball study, though? I'm skimming. Sad but interesting. Your birthday was the 4th, so hopefully you'll be alright. Happy birthday. Let's see. It's supposedly an unexplained phenomenon. Where's the MLB one? Do they not talk about it on Wikipedia? It just says smaller biographical studies have also shown a birthday effect within subpopulations, such as among Major League Baseball players and people with entries in the Encyclopedia of American History. It's on the MLB page. Let's see it. How have they done this? Birthday. Oh. Wait, is it on the MLB page? I don't see it. Oh, you were being silly. Didn't make the list? To me, it should make the list. That's all they say. Is this... We could read the actual article. Is it for free? Is it behind a paywall? It's behind a paywall. It costs $53. We can read the abstract. Mortality salience of birthdays on day of death in the major leagues. Abstract. The authors assess the relationship of mortality salience as represented by birthdays on the day of death. Preliminary studies considered the role of possible artifacts, such as seasonality of birth and death, and time units for evaluation. On the basis of terror management theory's concept of mortality salience, terror management theory? Authors hypothesized that famous people, in this case Major League Baseball players, would be more likely to die on or after their birthdays than would be expected by chance, and that the greater their fame, as represented by induction into the Baseball Hall of Fame, the greater the concentration of deaths shortly after birthdays. The results supported the hypothesis. Theoretical underpinnings of these results and practical implications were discussed. That's crazy. That seems crazy. Yeah, do they party harder than normal people? That could be it, right? Maybe they're involving substances that most normal people would not involve in their birthday. I mean, back on the Wikipedia page, it does talk about alcohol as a possible explanation. Birthday celebrations are often associated with large increases in alcohol consumption. Binge drinking can increase an individual's risk of death through alcohol intoxication, accidents, and drunk driving, as well as by exacerbating existing conditions and increasing suicide risk. In the US, where the legal minimum drinking age is 21, there is a very large mortality rate excess on the 21st birthday and the day immediately following, almost entirely attributable to an increase in accidents. That makes sense. Yeah, stay safe, everyone. Remember that alcohol, there is no safe amount of alcohol that you can drink. It is always dangerous. Mortality salience is the awareness that one's death is inevitable. Oh, we're getting a little existential. The term derives from terror management theory. What is terror management theory? Which proposes the so-called mortality salience hypothesis. Mortality salience causes existential anxiety, yeah? That may be buffered by one's cultural worldview and/or a sense of self-esteem. Real goth hours, that's why I'm wearing the goth outfit today. Terror management theory is both a social and evolutionary psychology theory. It proposes that a basic psychological conflict results from having a self-preservation instinct while realizing that death is inevitable and to some extent unpredictable. I've thought about this. This is too existential, but sometimes I've thought about this. That like having such an awareness is a curse in many ways. Like maybe we were never, well, I don't know if we're ever meant for anything or if it just happened, you know? But like it was never intentional that we should have such an awareness of our own existence. You were meant to be a sapling, yes. Stay head empty and live free. That's basically my method. Just don't think about it. I don't know. There are other options though, which can make you feel better. My mom is really into memento mori, which seems to help her. Is basically the idea that like, remember that you will die. Yeah, we are in fact mortal. The idea is you're supposed to think about it every day. And it's supposed to encourage you to live your life without regrets. And also like, I don't know, I guess not be afraid. Because everyone dies. We're getting too deep. Every day is a lot, but I don't know, maybe the more you think about it, the less serious it seems. I don't know. The less gigantic it seems. I won't die. Me neither. I will simply live forever. It comes with age too. I hope so. Well, maybe I should make it there if I'm already 4.5 billion. We'll get there. I'm gonna live forever. The sun is exploding in 1 billion years. Well, I don't want to live that long, you know? I don't need to live that long. Just, you know, longer. They'll float among the stars. Said forever. Some kind of forever. Give me a different not birthday page. Give me a different Wikipedia page. This one is too existential. What have we got? Long delayed echo. Long delayed echoes are radio echoes which return to the sender several seconds after a radio transmission has occurred. Delays of longer than 2.7 seconds are considered LDEs. LDEs are considered anomalous and have a number of proposed scientific origins. These echoes were first observed in 1927 by civil engineer and amateur radio operator, I don't know how to pronounce your name, Jørgen Hals, from his home near Oslo, Norway. Hals had repeatedly observed an unexpected second radio echo with a significant time delay after the primary radio echo ended. Unable to account for this strange phenomenon, he wrote a letter to a Norwegian physicist, Karl Stormer, explaining the event. At the end of the summer of 1927, I repeatedly heard signals from the Dutch shortwave transmission station, PCJJ, at Eindhoven. At the same time as I heard these, I also heard echoes. I heard the unusual echoes, which goes round the Earth with an interval of about 1/7 of a second, as well as a weaker echo about 3 seconds after the principal echo had gone. When the principal signal was especially strong, I suppose the amplitude for the last echo 3 seconds later lay between 1/10 and 1/20 of the principal signal in strength. From where the echo comes, I cannot say for the present. I can only confirm that I really heard it. There are 5 hypotheses. Ducting in the Earth's magnetosphere and ionosphere at low HF frequencies. Yes, I understand. I do not understand at all. 15 natural explanations? Reflections in outer space and reflections within the Earth's magnetosphere. Would this be on the test? So you're telling me it's not because of aliens? Reflection from distant plasma clouds coming originally from the sun. Mode conversion signals coupled to plasma waves in the upper ionosphere. It's a being issue. I'm not smart enough to understand why this is an unexplained phenomenon in the first place. Give me something else. How about the 1808 mystery eruption? The 1808 mystery eruption is one or potentially multiple unidentified volcanic eruptions that resulted in a significant rise in stratospheric sulfur aerosols, leading to a period of global cooling analogous to the year without a summer in 1816. I keep going on these unexplained phenomena, and then I'm like, well, tell me the explanation. I mean, it wouldn't be on the unexplained phenomena page if it had an explanation. Give me the answer. But what happened really? How is it unexplained? It's volcanoes? Yeah, how is it unexplained? There are no recorded eruptions of the needed magnitude to generate such a spike. Further research in bristlecone pine tree ring data point to the eruption being in 1808 rather than early 1809. Likely caused by a series of eruptions? I don't know if this is that mysterious. Give me something really mysterious. Spontaneous human combustion? Wait, is that real? Is that real? don't think that was real. Here we go. Now we're on the good stuff. Happened to me. They drink coffee. Spontaneous human combustion is the pseudo-scientific concept of the spontaneous combustion of a living or recently deceased human body without an apparent external source of ignition on body. In addition to reported cases, descriptions of the alleged phenomenon appear in literature, and both types have been observed to share common characteristics in terms of circumstances and the remains of the victim. Has this happened? In like recent time? 1 in 5 living mine. In South Park? I mean, they say it's like pseudoscience, but then they say... I guess there are only alleged cases? Reported cases? Scientific investigations have attempted to analyze reported instances of spontaneous human combustion and have resulted in hypotheses regarding potential causes and mechanisms, including victim behavior and habits, alcohol consumption. It always comes back to that. Proximity to potential sources of ignition, as well as the behavior of fires. Oh, the consume melted fats. Natural explanations as well as unverified natural phenomena have been proposed to explain reports of spontaneous human combustion. The current scientific consensus is that purported cases of SHC involve overlooked external sources of ignition. That seems to make sense. Characteristics? Okay. There are 6 typical characteristics of victims of spontaneous human combustion. Number 1, the victims are chronic alcoholics. Number 2, they are usually elderly females. Number 3, the body has not burned spontaneously, but some lighted substance has come into contact with it. Oh, this is getting too gory for me. I don't want to read the rest. We'll leave it at that. Skippa. The images are disturbing. Are there images? I mean, like, does this happen? I'm not drinking coffee anymore. I can't risk this. 1 in 5. Fauna clicks on the spontaneous human combustion page and then is shocked when they describe spontaneous human combustion. I thought it would, I don't know, I thought it would just be about aliens. I mean, if I want aliens, I guess I should go to the UFO page. But then we're getting into like real conspiracy hours, and I don't know if I'm ready to get into real conspiracy hours. The History Channel page, the DB Cooper page. We can go to the DB Cooper page. That one is interesting. I'm pretty sure he just died though. But it's still interesting. What about like cryptids? Cryptids are fun too. What's like a good one though? I mean, there's like Bigfoot. But are there better cryptids than Bigfoot? Mothman? Wendigo? I already read the Wendigo Wikipedia page when I made my short story that I read. Mothman. In popular culture. Festival? There's a Mothman festival? I want to go to the Mothman festival. 10 to 12,000 people per year go to the Mothman festival? That's a lot of people. A 12-foot-tall metallic statue of the creature was unveiled in 2003. The Mothman Museum and Research Center. They're doing research on Mothman? Opened in 2005. The festival is held on the third weekend of every September. We can still make it. Hosting guest speakers, vendor exhibits, pancake eating contests, and hayride tours. Yes, that's exactly what I think of when I think of Mothman. It's pancake eating contests and hayride tours. It's coming up. I should host a panel at the Mothman Festival. Wait, what about the... What is it? The skunk ape. What about the skunk ape? This is a cryptid that I don't know much about. Have you guys heard of the skunk ape? First time you're hearing? It's Wikipedia, so I can show you the image. Let me show you the skunk ape. Looks like a gorilla. Are there reports of wild gorillas on the loose? Sure is an ape. The one on the right. Excuse you. Excuse you. It's just a gorilla. Yeah, isn't this just a gorilla? I don't know. I'm having a hard time, like, seeing this as anything but a gorilla. The skunk ape. I like how they start off with the skunk ape is. They do say it's mythical later, but it starts out sounding like it's real. The skunk ape is a large and hairy, human-like mythical creature purported to inhabit the forests and swamps in the southeastern United States, most notably in Florida. It is often compared to, synonymous with, or called the cousin of Bigfoot, a prominent subject within North American popular culture. YouTube? Did YouTube take me out? Bring me back, YouTube. Are we back? Did you get all of that? The skunk ape, big skunk ape, is trying to take me down for exposing the secrets of the skunk ape. The skunk ape is commonly described as a bipedal human or ape-like creature, approximately 1.5 to 2.1 meters tall, which is 5 to 7 feet tall, and covered in mottled reddish-brown hair. How many cryptids are just like somebody's hairy uncle, like wandering through the woods? You know? You know? Like 5 to 7 feet tall, bipedal, human-like creature. Are we sure this isn't just like Uncle Steve, you know? The skunk ape is often reported to be smaller in stature compared to traditional descriptions of Bigfoot. It is named for its foul odor, often being described similar to a skunk. Yeah, that's Uncle Steve, all right. Yup. Yup. I'm sorry to all the Uncle Steves out there. Man-sized monkey raiding food stores and stalking fishermen along the shore. No Notable alleged sightings. Sightings continue to the present day, with 48 out of 67 counties in Florida reporting sightings since 2010. Where can you report these sightings? In 1997, a photograph of a dark, upright figure in the swamp was taken. It claims to depict a skunk ape. He reported observing the creature cross the road and stopped his car to capture a photograph. Oh, YouTube! They don't want me to tell the secrets of the skunk ape. Is the stream dead? It's fine for you. The skunk ape is attacking. Do they not want me to have this image of the Florida skunk ape up here? Good on your end. They're shutting me down. I'm starting to think the skunk ape might be real. The secrets can't get out. Censored in real time. Not big skunk ape. I talked about the wrong cryptid. Oh no. Seems fine now. Maybe we talk about D.B. Cooper instead. D.B. Cooper, also known as Dan Cooper, was an unidentified man who hijacked Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305, a Boeing 727 aircraft, in United States airspace on November 24, 1971. During this flight from Portland, Oregon to Seattle, Washington, the hijacker told a flight attendant he had a bomb, demanded $200,000 in ransom, equivalent to approximately $1.5 million in 2024, and requested 4 parachutes upon landing in Seattle. After releasing the passengers in Seattle, the hijacker instructed the flight crew to refuel the aircraft and begin a second flight to Mexico City, with a refueling stop in Reno, Nevada. About 30 minutes after taking off from Seattle, the hijacker opened the aircraft's aft door, deployed the staircase, and parachuted into the night over southwestern Washington. The hijacker has never been found or identified conclusively. Changing topics worked. The hijacker had identified himself as Dan Cooper to buy his one-way ticket in Portland, Oregon, but a reporter confused his name with another suspect, and the hijacker became subsequently known as D.B. Cooper. In 1980, a small portion of the ransom money was found along the banks of the Columbia River near Vancouver, Washington. The discovery of the money renewed public interest in the mystery, but yielded no additional information about the hijacker's identity or fate, and the remaining money was never recovered. For 45 years after the hijacking, the FBI maintained an active investigation and built an extensive case file, but ultimately did not reach any definitive conclusions. The crime remains the only unsolved case of air piracy in the history of commercial aviation. The FBI speculates Cooper did not survive his jump for several reasons: the inclement weather on the night of the hijacking, Cooper's unsuitable clothing and lack of proper skydiving equipment, the largely forested area into which he jumped, his apparent lack of detailed knowledge of his landing area, and the disappearance of the remaining ransom money, suggesting it was never spent. In July 2016, the FBI officially suspended active investigation of the Northwest hijacking case, although reporters, enthusiasts, professional investigators, and amateur sleuths continue to pursue numerous theories for Cooper's identity, success, and fate. The skunk ape. It's just a crazy thing that happened. He's on a tropical island laughing with a drink in his hand. The skunk ape got him! Oh no! He made the wrong choice. descending into skunk ape territory. It's the skunk ape that's laughing on a tropical island somewhere with a drink in hand. Physical evidence? Clip-on necktie. FBI agents found a black clip-on necktie in seat 18E where Cooper had been seated. Attached to the tie was a gold tie clip with a circular mother-of-pearl setting in the center of the clip. The FBI determined the tie had been sold exclusively at J.C. Penney department stores, but had been discontinued in 1968. Okay, he shops at J.C. Penney. Okay. Wait, has J.C. Penney always had an extra E? Hold on. Hold on. Have we discovered a new Mandela effect? On this conspiracy stream? Has it always been spelled like this? Yes? No. My memory is infallible. There is no way I would have misremembered and assumed that it had this spelling. There's no way I would just imagine that Penny would be spelled like this, even though it is spelled like this. There's no way I could have misremembered it. Is this on the Mandela effect? Or is it just me? Is there a list? Mandela effect. On the false memory page? Is there not a whole page for the Mandela effect? Is there like a list? List of Mandela effects. Wikipedia. Does Wikipedia not indulge me on this? Is there no list? Give me a list. List of. No? Not Conspiracypedia. Man. I better get in the talk pages. Better yet, I'll just edit the page to add this one. J.C. Penney being spelled with an extra E. There's a thread about it on Reddit, but they remember it being J.C. Penney's instead of J.C. Penney. They should remember it without the E. I mean, most of these are just like when Darth Vader tells Luke, I am your father. He doesn't actually say that. He says, no, I am your father. But the reason everybody thinks is that Luke, I am your father is because that's what everybody says. People have just repeated it enough. He didn't say it, no. Everybody else said it though. Spoilers. Everybody else said it. Literally everyone else said it, so it is no surprise that people would remember it. You refuse to believe. Softly reading spoilers? That's a good idea, huh? Do people still care about Avengers Endgame? I've never seen it. How about softly reading Avengers Endgame spoilers? There's your warning. In 2018, 3 days after Thanos erased half of all life in the universe, Carol Danvers rescues Tony Stark and Nebula from deep space. Already, I have no idea what's happening. I don't think I watched the first Avengers. They reunite with the remaining Avengers, Bruce Banner, Steve Rogers, Thor, Natasha Romanoff, and James Rhodes, and Rocket on Earth. Locating Thanos on an uninhabited planet, they plan to use the Infinity Stones to reverse his actions, but find that Thanos has destroyed them. Enraged, Thor decapitates Thanos. 5 years later, Scott Lang escapes from the quantum realm. Reaching the Avengers compound, he explains that he experienced only 5 hours while trapped. Theorizing that the quantum realm allows time travel, they ask a reluctant Stark to help them retrieve the stones from the past to reverse Thanos' present actions. Stark, Rocket, and Banner, who has merged his intelligence with the Hulk's strength, build a time machine. I had no idea any of this happens. Banner notes that altering the past does not affect the present. Any change creates alternative realities. And everyone else just said, who cares? Who cares, nerd? I only care about my subjective experience. I'm gonna save people in my reality. Who cares about the other realities? Just make the time machine, nerd. Banner and Rocket travel to Norway, where they visit the Asgardian refugee settlement of New Asgard and recruit an overweight, despondent Thor. Really? I didn't know that. In Tokyo, Romanoff recruits Clint Barton, who becomes a vigilante after the erasure of his family. Banner, Lang, Rogers, and Stark time travel to New York City during Loki's attack in 2012. At the Sanctum Sanctorum, Banner convinces the Ancient One to give him the Time Stone after promising to return the Infinity Stones to their proper points in time. At Stark Tower, Rogers retrieves the Mind Stone from Hydra's sleeper agents. Stark and Lang's attempt to steal the Space Stone fails, allowing 2012 Loki to escape with it. This is already so confusing. Rogers and Stark travel to Camp Lee in 1970, where Stark obtains an earlier version of the Space Stone and encounters his father, Howard. Rogers steals Pym particles from Hank Pym to return to the present and sees his lost love, Peggy Carter. Rocket and Thor travel to Asgard in 2013. Rocket extracts the Reality Stone from Jane Foster. Thor is encouraged by his mother, Frigga, and retrieves his old hammer, Mjolnir. Barton, Romanoff, Nebula, and Rhodes travel to 2014. Nebula and Rhodes go to Morag and steal the Power Stone before Peter Quill can, while Barton and Romanoff travel to Vormir. The Soul Stone's keeper, Red Skull, says it can only be acquired by sacrificing a loved one. Romanoff sacrifices herself, allowing Barton to get the stone. Like she is her own loved one? Is that what it means? I love myself, so I will sacrifice myself. Rhodes and Nebula attempt to return to their own time, but Nebula is incapacitated when her cybernetic implants link with her past self. This allows 2014 Thanos to learn about his future self's success, and the Avengers attempt to undo it. 2014 Thanos sends 2014 Nebula in time to prepare for his arrival. Is this not like so confusing when you watch it? This sounds so confusing. Like, how do you even know which Thanos is which? Does he have like a tattoo on his head that says the current year is 2014? How do you know he's 2014 Thanos? It was very clear, actually. It must be clearer than the Wikipedia summary. The other one is dead? In this timeline? What about the other timelines? Because they decapitated him? How come they just didn't decapitate him before 2014 then, if it was so easy? Reuniting in the present, the Avengers place the stones into a gauntlet that Stark, Banner, and Rocket have built. Banner, who has the most resistance to their radiation, uses the gauntlet to undo Thanos' disintegrations. Meanwhile, 2014 Nebula, impersonating her future self, uses the time machine to transport 2014 Thanos and his warship to the present and destroys the Avengers compound. Wait, is Nebula evil? Why would she do that? Yes? I thought she was part of the Avengers. Oh, past Nebula is? Oh. Was she changed? I'm so betrayed. I am. I don't even know who Nebula is, if I'm being honest. I didn't know that was one of them. Present-day Nebula convinces 2014 Gamora to betray Thanos, but is unable to convince 2014 Nebula and kills her. Wouldn't she just die instantly then? If she kills her 2014 self? Does she just die instantly? Multiverse? It's not the same timeline, then what's the point in even changing anything? Different universes? Then what's the point? Thanos overpowers Stark, Thor, and a Mjolnir-wielding Rogers. He summons his army to retrieve the stones, intent on using them to destroy the universe and create a new one. A restored Stephen Strange arrives with other sorcerers. There are sorcerers? The restored Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy, the Ravagers, the armies of Wakanda and Asgard to fight Thanos' army. Danvers also arrives and destroys Thanos' warship. But Thanos overpowers her and seizes the gauntlet. Stark steals the stones and uses them to disintegrate Thanos and his army, sacrificing himself. After Stark's funeral, Thor appoints Valkyrie as the new king of Asgard and joins the Guardians. Rogers returns the stones and Mjolnir to their proper timelines and remains in the past to live with Carter. In the present, an elderly Rogers passes his shield to Sam Wilson. Okay, but like he's dead, but only in this timeline. Why don't we just go to a different timeline where he's alive? Right? The end. Please, no. Stop. Timelines cost money? But there's infinite of them, right? How can they cost anything when there's unlimited timelines? I don't know. I guess that's why they're casting him as Doctor Doom. Right? I don't know anything about it though. That's up in the air? Is it? Are they gonna cancel it? I don't know. So I like have prosopagnosia. Not really. But I do feel like I have a really hard time like recognizing actors. Like if they just like change their hair, then I'm like, oh, that's a different actor. So for me, like if they just like change his hairstyle, then like I'm not even gonna notice that it's the same actor. So that's fine for me. Clark Kent syndrome. It's just suspension of disbelief? Yeah. Although maybe not, because when I watched The Matrix, I was just like, that's Elrond. Hee Elrond. But he does have a pretty distinct face. Elrond! Elrond, what are you doing, Elrond? You shouldn't be doing this. Bad Elrond. Bad Elrond. Psh, psh, psh. Get the spray bottle. No. No. Bad, Elrond. Bad. What are you doing here? What are you doing? You need to go make sure your daughter is not gonna go to the immortal realms. What are you doing here? Matrix came out first? That seems weird to me. In my brain, Lord of the Rings should be older. Fauna, it's his world. Matrix is old. I really liked the Matrix. I can't believe it took me so long to watch it. I thought it was good. I liked it. I didn't realize it was so like... I don't know, it's got some like horror elements, light horror elements in it. I didn't realize that was a thing. It did age well, it did. The leather, the trench coats. The belly button, yeah, actually that's totally like body horror. I really liked the body horror elements in it. And the style is very good. You hated that? That's what makes it good. That's what makes it good. CG didn't age well, but it's also like a time capsule, you know? So you can look at it and be like, wow, that's how things used to be. Which pill am I taking? Okay, honestly, I'm taking the blue pill. I'm eating that steak. Well, I mean, I wouldn't betray all my friends to eat the steak, you know? I wouldn't betray everyone to do so, but like... Assuming I'm not already drafted to the... into the... whatever... opposition. I'm just gonna live my ignorant life in bliss. Not main character suited. Yeah, the resistance. I'll be a battery, that's fine. I mean, how do we know that, like, life is already not a simulation? I'm fine. I'm fine with it. I'll just live my life being a VTuber. That's good enough for me. This is hot outside. We're getting existential again. Exactly, the simulation's got VTubers in it. Imagine I become Agent Smith. I wouldn't mind. I like Elrond. I like Elrond. I could be Agent Smith. Agent Elrond. He is cool. He is. I don't know, the thing is, like, he's supposed to be, like, an emotionless machine, right? But he's mad. He's angry. He is definitely not emotionless. He starts that way, then he gets obsessed with it. He went rogue. He's got plenty of emotions, yeah. He's been changed by his time in the Matrix. I can fix him, honestly. Honestly, I can fix him. If he's got anger, I'm sure he's got other emotions in there too. I cannot. I can. I can fix him. You cannot. I'm sure he's got other emotions in there somewhere. We just gotta get them out. Yeah, we just have to teach him to love. Exactly. I mean, I feel like he already feels such strong anger towards Neo. We could flip that around easily to strong positive emotions. He loves to hate. He's so obsessed with Neo. Exactly. No, they don't have to be lovers. They could be friends. Could be anything. Either way is fine, but He obviously cares about him. He's got strong emotions in there. This could be fan fiction. Can't live without you, Mr. Anderson. Enemies to acquaintances? I don't know. Like, what would he be without Neo, you know? Neo X Smith is already a thing. I guess I can't say I'm surprised. I mean, who else are you gonna ship? I guess, Neo and... What's her name? I forgot her name. Neo X Morpheus? Trinity? Not... Is it Trinity? Is that her name? What's the other girl's name? It is Trinity? There's another girl? There is! The other one. What other girl? Isn't there? There are no other girls? Wait, am I crazy? No, isn't there? Isn't there another girl? The Mandela effect? Hold on. Wait, isn't there another girl? Not the Oracle. Yes, the one with the pixie cut. Yes. Yes. She exists, right? Switch? Is that her name? That's Switch? There are multiple other girls? Yeah, Switch. This girl. Yeah. Or maybe they're not a girl. I don't know. She instantly dies? She dies so quickly? She was not forgettable to me. She's like the only one wearing white in the whole movie. Maybe I'm just too focused on the outfits. She's a girl in the Matrix, hence Switch. I see. White, bold choice, ma'am. In the Matrix it is, when everybody else is wearing black. Okay, Trinity. I guess Trinity and Neo ended up together. Which is kind of whatever, but they're destined together? I guess so. Lack of options. They retconned it, did they? It was like a true love sort of thing, right? A true love's destiny. This fine. It's like what every movie does. That wasn't the most interesting part of the movie, I think. We don't talk about the other movies. Them being together is literally the reason things were different with this Neo. I missed the deep lore. The romance was secondary. It was there, right? There was like, she had like a prophecy or something that she was gonna be in love with the chosen one or whatever. So then she was like, oh, it has to be you. Because you are the chosen one. Something like that. Prophecies make love stories easy. don't remember. It wasn't the... To me, it wasn't the most interesting part of the movie. But it was there. Yeah, she would fall in love and that person would be the one. I did like the Oracle too. Use an anagram for one. You gotta watch again, you've forgotten everything. I liked it. It's a good movie. You should have eaten both of the pills at the same time to see what would have happened. I feel like the blue pill didn't do anything though, right? Isn't it just like a sugar pill? So if you take both, you probably just get the effects of the red pill. Or I don't know, maybe neither of them do anything and it's just about the choice that you make and then they decide to pull you out, right? It's more like that, isn't it? I don't know. Do they actually do anything? It resets your memory? The laxative, that's horrible. Yeah, it's just symbolic. It's just about the choice. Imagine Morpheus like forgets which is supposed to be which. And he's just like, take the it's the blue one if you wanna learn the truth of the world, and the red one if you're happy. Yeah, that sounds about right. But then it still is fine because they don't actually do anything, and they're like, the people behind the screen watching are just like, oh, he forgot again. I can't believe it. He mixed them up again. This is making it really hard. We have to pay attention to which one he chooses. Morpheus, please. How many years has it been and you keep mixing them up? How do they free colorblind people? I mean, can you be colorblind in the Matrix, or do they just like fix your vision? I don't know. That's an interesting idea. Imagine you're colorblind and you confidently are like, oh, I choose the red pill. I want to learn the truth. And then you grab the blue pill and eat it, and then Morpheus has to be like, can we give them the red pill protocol, please? I choose the brown pill. Would they have made everyone perfect then? I don't know. It's a good question, right? Like, do they? Or is life that's too perfect actually not perfect at all? Would I have anxiety in the Matrix? Or would they magically cure my anxiety, you know? That's the question. I would be cured. That would be nice. Yeah, do people wear glasses in the Matrix? Because you can keep drawing the line, right? Like, maybe my life would be better if I didn't have anxiety. But would my life be better if I had perfect vision? Then it's like questionable, right? Like, maybe my life would be a little bit better if I had perfect vision, but I don't think it would really have a discernible effect. So do they keep going, you know? I'd see more bugs. I know glasses are cute, but I mean, you could just wear fake glasses. Yeah, I guess so. You're not really using your eyes in the Matrix, are you? Bugs wouldn't need to exist, but some people like bugs. What about those people in the Matrix? Yeah. their immersion. They get a custom matrix? Wait, are we even in the same matrix? Or do we each have our own? Because I want to be on the server with everybody else. That's like part of what makes it appealing. Is that it's like the same server, you know? Yeah, I don't want to play single player. I like knowing that the others are like actual people, even if they're just batteries. Is it? It's personal? I guess, like, how do you connect the brains, you know? But I don't know, that it seems to be like people interact with each other. It's all NPCs? Is it? But if your soulmate is plugged into a different Matrix server, exactly. Can you pay the $20 to have your character transferred to a different server? What if, like, there's someone that you really don't like? Can you, like, get them kicked out into a different server? Some are NPCs. Vote kick! Imagine you get vote kicked out of the Matrix. Is that just murder? Is there murder in the Matrix? Can you die in the Matrix? Haven't we been over this? If you die in the Matrix, you die in real life. But, like, is there murder? And then does the squid come along and just kill you in your pod? If you die in the Matrix? The body cannot live without the mind. What if it can, though? What if it still makes electricity? Get recycled? You get flushed down? Oh no. Maybe the Matrix is a dystopia. Has anyone ever considered that the Matrix might be a dystopia? I don't know. It sounds like it has some real flaws with it. Hot take? No way. No way. Is it a dystopian movie? No way. I thought it was a utopia this whole time. I know, right? Me too. Same with, like, the Giver world. Doesn't everybody want to live in the world of the Giver? Like, it sounds great as long as you don't have to be, like, the one person who feels the suffering of all humans. For everybody else. You'll give up color. Just don't be that guy, and then you'll probably be fine. Pass. Why'd they make us read that in 4th grade? I had to read it like 3 times in school. In like 4th grade, in like 7th grade, and then in like 10th grade. What's the baby's name? I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember much about The Giver, even though I read it like 3 times. Maybe I should read it again. You always dodge it every time. I remember in one of my English classes, the class was given a choice between reading Animal Farm and then there were none. And there were only 2 of us in the class who voted for Animal Farm. And I was one of them. Animal Farm me every day of the week, you too? Overachiever. Everybody else wanted to read and then there were none. So we read and then there were none. I think they're both great books, but... Animal Farm was good. I don't think I've read it. I don't think I ever read it since then. Since the choice was robbed from me. Not that anything is stopping me from reading it now. was like overwhelming. There were only 2 of us who voted for Animal Farm, and it was like it was not an anonymous vote, you know. It was like a raise your hands situation. Just me and one other person. Who's the other one? The other one was the eccentric kid in class, which now that I think about it, I may have also been the eccentric kid if we were both the only ones raising our hands. It wasn't me. It was probably both of us. I would say that he was more eccentric than I was. But maybe that's just because like I didn't talk during class. I never talked. I was too quiet. He would actually talk. He thought the same thing about me? Maybe. Was he a chatty catty? He was. And I feel bad because people didn't like him for it. But he wasn't doing anything wrong, and he was a nice person. But you know, it's high school, and people are ruthless. He was just a little quirky, but he was very nice. Was he cringe? We're all cringe. We're all cringe. High school is brutal. I'm definitely like just as weird as him, but I just like didn't say anything. So people, my weirdness was hidden. But I don't know, maybe people did think I was just as weird. And I was just not privy to it. The stealth cringe, exactly. Performance check passed. Yeah, be quiet and you get ignored. When you're quiet, people just imagine your weirdness. I think people just like look at you, and based on the way you look and dress, then they imagine your personality. And I was kind of like emo goth, so I think they just imagined me as like the brooding one. Even though on the inside is like weirdness. Cringe. Tortured soul. I did have more fauna lore. You just need something to spur it to come out, you know? Fauna inside. Meow, 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 meow. I don't know. I feel bad. I feel bad for that kid. I hope he's happy wherever he is. I feel like I should have made an effort to be his friend. But I was so shy back then. But I remember thinking that it was unfair that people judged him just for being a little quirky. I feel bad. He's a villain now. I hope not. I hope not. Introverts not united. I know. I don't know. I like to think now I do try whenever I'm in a situation where I notice, because I have much more confidence now than I used to have in high school. Now I like, when I do see someone who's like, I feel like they're probably shy or they probably want to talk, but they're too shy, I do try to make an effort these days, because now I'm more confident, and it's like, well, if they don't want to talk to me, then that's fine. It doesn't matter. I'll just move on with my life. But if I can help them out just a little bit in any situation, then that would be good. Yeah, you don't lose anything by trying, even if it doesn't work out in the end. Yeah. But it is hard. Cause I'm shy too. I'm an introvert too. Don't lose anything by trying unless you lose. I mean, in this case, where it's like, I don't know. It would be like in the club I was in college. Like if I see someone sitting by themselves, I might try to go over and like talk to them and make sure they're like, are you, you know, just vibing by yourself, or do you want to play with other people and you're just too shy? Cause like, I'm not playing League, but I can get you hooked up with the League players if that's what you want. That kind of thing. In that case, you don't lose anything because you didn't have anything to begin with. The only risk you have is that they might, I don't know. I mean, they could be like, go away. I don't want to talk to you. But they probably won't be. Most people are polite. Are you offering to get them hooked up with League? I don't know. That's what people were playing back then. If it's like, you know, you see someone who's sitting by themselves and then you know that there's like a 4-stack sitting elsewhere playing, sometimes I would take it upon myself to like scoot over to this one person and be like, hey, what are you doing? Like, do you play League? Because we've got a 4-stack over there and they could use a 5th if you want to join them. And oftentimes they're like, nope, I'm good. I'm playing near by myself. You know? You should join them so that I don't have to. Exactly. I wasn't gonna play League. Oh, 1 second. Oh, I think the people are here from my floor. My washer overflowed. 1 second. I need to go talk to the maintenance people. Okay, I'll end the stream here and we'll read the super chats later. Bye-bye. Thank you. Sorry for the sudden end. Bye-bye.
Fauna FM. This ain't your granny's radio station. I'm your DJ Kieran Fauna, and get ready to jam out. Let's go.